Hey everyone, it's me, Doomlink, and welcome back to Joke Weapon Roulette. This is a series that I haven't actually recorded for in quite some time. I don't have a specific explanation or reason as to why I haven't touched it recently. It just hasn't really... Well, actually, it has been on the mind. I've been thinking about it. I haven't just totally forgotten about it, or I hadn't totally forgotten about it. I just wasn't in the mood, I suppose. And you will notice, I suppose you wouldn't notice if you didn't know about it, but you will notice if you have been watching for a long time, that I also haven't been using the roulette to decide what weapon type I should use in either this game or 3 Ultimate. There was a period of time, I suppose around the time I first launched the Joke Weapon Roulette series, where instead of deciding for myself what weapon type to use, I would actually use a roulette to make that decision for me, which actually does improve the enjoyment one would experience with the game once you've played it so much. And I don't just mean one specific game, I mean the series. It's more enjoyable to, I suppose, delegate the decision making to literally RNG. So I enjoy that. Now, what was I going to do? Yes, I was going to introduce this series to those of you who are unfamiliar with it. The Joke Weapon Roulette series has precisely no... what's the word I'm looking for? It has not garnered any attention. It is an invisible series on YouTube. The views of the VODs that I uploaded to YouTube are indeed the views that it received upon its first uploading. It has not appeared in anyone's recommended, presumably, since then. So... what that would tell me is that you most certainly don't know what it is if you were not around for the previous recordings. If you're a newer viewer, allow me to tell you 2 things. The first is that I will have random joke weapons selected for me before every individual hunt that I undertake. The second thing that I will say is that I do use one specific armor set for this series. It's actually a pretty good armor set, and the reason why it's so good is because... in my mind, I wanted an armor set that would boost the damage of the joke weapons that I would be using. Because most joke weapons really do not have satisfactory stats. Like, they're usually something that you would only use as a joke. But in this game, they've actually made some of the joke weapons fairly decent, like actually good, and by the time I use them alongside or with a better armor set than... well, maybe not a better armor set than your typical armor set. It's not that incredible. I mean, this is it. The skills are very good for a weapon that's already good, okay? Now, this thing here, this is the Hammergeddon. Whether or not I use this first will be dependent upon the roulette. But you know, this weapon isn't terrible. It's got decent raw. The sharpness, courtesy of sharpness plus 2, is passable. So yeah, the idea is that this armor set perhaps was a little bit overkill for what I was seeking to do with it, but in the end, there are still some weapons included in the, I suppose, the pool of possible weapons that I will be using that are pretty damn awful and do require this set in order to use them. I'm not very much of the mind to create 2 armor sets for Joke Weapon Roulette, one for good weapons and one for bad weapons, because what that would entail is me deleting one of these sets, all of which are necessary and all of which I like, so I'm not going to be doing that. I will just have the one set and use only this, and I'm sure you can forgive me for that. Let's go and make a decision on our first weapon, and then we'll look for a room. One of the problems with this series, I suppose, is that some of the joke weapons do have elements, and obviously when a specific element is selected, or a specific weapon with one particular element is selected, my dearest hope and desire is that I'm not going to be using a totally inappropriate element for the quest that I end up departing on. But it does sometimes happen, and you just have to live with that. You have to realize that you are not at peak effectiveness while engaging in this style of play. So that is the nature of the recording series. Don't expect me to be playing the metagame. Alrighty, let's go and make a decision for ourselves. go. No, that would be my YouTube channel. I need to make sure. There we go. It's been a while since I've done this, so rather than going smoothly, it is doing rather the opposite to that. That would be the Scarlet Parasol, which is a greatsword. I'm actually just going to do a quick check to make sure that everything's fine with this recording. Yep, we're all under control. There are certain parameters that I need to check to make sure that they are in order to be personally assured of the fact that the recording hasn't basically imploded on me. But yeah, things are under control. Now, remember when I mentioned that you can sometimes get a specific elemental weapon? Well, fortunately, that is not the case with what has been first selected here. The Scarlet Parasol is a weapon that does not actually have an element, and it ends up being a decent greatsword. I don't even know where it is. Here it is, it's a rarity 6 apparently. So, the Scarlet Parasol is an example of one of those weapons that's not super weak. Like, it is, before it's even been boosted damage-wise, kind of reasonable. It doesn't have purple sharpness, but that's not as much of a demerit in this game where purple sharpness has had its effectiveness decreased comparatively to the games that preceded this one. And it's got pretty reasonable attack. Let's have a look at what my end damage is. It is 365 with white sharpness. Still not the best you can possibly get, but this is perfectly robust for G rank play. Again, it's at the upper end of what's acceptable among G rank weapons, so yeah. The Joke Weapon Roulette series really was initially intended, in my mind, to be Doom Link at a severe disadvantage, having to deal with it. Well, there's a lot less of that than I first thought. James Summer, Charms Freestyle, fuck no. Need help farming. Farming what? No, I'm not doing that. Bro Hunters, Hellblade G2, god. I don't think they'll appreciate me turning up to Hellblade G2 with a joke weapon, but again, as I say, this one's not too bad. I'm not going to be sticking around to do multiple Hellblade monsters, so yeah, that's not going to be happening. When I started this series, I had actually committed, at least initially, to only doing quests before the HR 13 mark, because I didn't want to join serious rooms with people who actually wanted to succeed with loadouts that were just inappropriate for the hunt. I felt that that was a bit unfair. But the problem with joining HR 9 to 12 rooms is that you have a very limited pool of quests that you're going to be undertaking. The reason why I say that is because typically when people are between the hunter ranks of 9 and 12, they are doing key quests. Now, I'm not averse to key quests ordinarily, it's just that when you do them repeatedly, like every time I do Joke Weapon Roulette, if you're going to be seeing roughly the same quests every time, it's not going to be very enjoyable, so I've more or less branched out to all rooms. The same sort of rooms that I would be joining in the Doom Link's Life Hunt series. So, there you go. And to be honest, I'm glad that for Hellblade G2 I do have this particular weapon on hand. It's far from inappropriate. And I'm pleased by that. Alright, Hellblade in the jungle. This will be interesting. I suppose I would have done Hellblade here. Is this the one feint? Don't tell me it's the fucking one feint. If it's just ones... Oh no, it's 2 Hellblade Glaviner, so it's not the one feint. I didn't actually notice that it was 2. I have now reassured myself of the fact that I did not make a terrible mistake in neglecting to eat for exchange... Not exchange. That's the other one that I typically ate for. I meant to say insurance. Insurance. This is typically the one that everyone starts with. This Hellblade over here. I think there's less of a risk of being invaded by the other one in this area. Oh god. I had a very pleasant view of this monster's anus as I entered the area. Now, one of the things that I don't like about this is that I do not actually have focus. That's definitely going to hamper my efforts to deal lots of damage. And I thought that I was going to be able to roll out of the way of that, but I was unsuccessful. That is a bad start to the hunt. But yeah, of course, the thing with Greatsword is that you are not always going to be committing to level 3 charges, because sometimes the opportunities that you have had presented to you, sometimes those are not sufficient to actually get a level 3 charge out. When you don't have focus, what that actually means is that you're going to be doing less level 3s and level 2 charges. So it's actually not that great. I was lucky enough to get a level 3 out there, but... And I even flinched him. I'm flinching the Hellblade Glavenus with a fucking umbrella. You'll notice that with this particular greatsword, as you charge it, it will actually unfurl, which is pretty cool. Well, I guess I'll go for the tail thing, as it was right here. Damn it. As is typically the case with body parts that flail around, they end up pushing you off target. I think it's the level 2 that has the... That's a good flinch again. I think it's the level 2 that actually opens out the umbrella. And Hosantor has fainted, regrettably. I think I may have been saying before that this particular area feels very small for Glavenus. Damn it. But yeah, this is not exactly a greatsword set, is what I was trying to get at previously. It doesn't have focus in it. Well, it does at least have high-grade earplugs. I'm happy to see that. When I said see that, I'm happy to see that, I was referring to seeing it in my memory. Okay. It perhaps would be more appropriate to say, I'm happy to realize that. What am I doing? I do not believe that guarding a roar will deplete your sharpness at all. It is worth mentioning. Let's not fight him over there. That's just going to give us less space. That is far from desirable. Hello, Autonomic. Okay, why was I doing that? An entirely appropriate question, really. See, I don't want to start committing. See, had I committed to a charge attack there, I just would have gotten a tail swing to the face. Thank you for flinching me right there. That was actually rather helpful. I've been flinching this Glavenus regularly. I suppose I'm actually dealing damage or something. See, the problem with that tail swing is that it will hit you if you're to the side of the monster. It's got a very wide, effective arc. He begins to drag it from his side and then he swings it in front of him. And in that case, I got caught along the side. Is he going to go all the way up? No, he's not going to go up. No, he is going up. Okay. That's fine. I can live with that. It is 4th gen. I can climb these vines much faster than in Monster Hunter 2. Much faster. And thank God for that. I've got some honey here, but I do not have a dearth of honey in my box. This is a place where we're more likely to be invaded by the other one, but I think we'll survive. I don't think this one's going to last too much longer. He does have reduced health. Just going to do a draw attack on his face here. Better than nothing. That was an opportunity to get a charge attack out, but he flinched me with that maneuver that he made. So that's a blast attack when it comes to Hellblade Glavenus, interestingly. I don't know what sort of range that has. When you get used to having focus, it really does... It really is uncomfortable to go to non-focus. It doesn't have much of an advantage, you know. You're not going to be foregoing focus and realizing, oh, not having focus is actually rather helpful in certain situations. It's not. It's just, it is a fucking handicap. That is all it is when you're using a greatsword. But there would be no real reason for me to have focus on an armor set that is designed to be used with all weapon types for Blade Master. Yes, The fact that Berserk is being published again as a continuation would be, you know, news to all who follow manga and anime at this stage. It's a very interesting decision for them to take. I don't know if the fans necessarily want it. I'm sure the fans are in two minds about it, much as I would be if I were a fan of Berserk and were up to date. Of course, I do have experience with Berserk. I watched the original Berserk anime many years ago, but, well, not fully. I've only dipped my toes into the waters of Berserk. I have not actually properly pursued it, for a number of reasons which I won't get into at this stage, but essentially, I can't imagine it being a good thing to have someone other than the original author telling the story. I just can't imagine it being a good thing. You may know some of the details, friend of the Berserk guy, whose name I have forgotten, and I apologize for that. You may know certain details that others wouldn't be privy to, but did you know how to deliver the story? Did you know how to pace it? Did you know how to... you know, there's a lot of detail to it. So it's going to be different. That much needs to be understood. It's going to be very different. Unless he happens to have the same writing style. He is also a writer, the friend of the Berserk guy. He's a mangaka, as they call them. But that doesn't mean he has the same writing style, and it doesn't mean that he can work with that material in the same sort of way. We'll just see how things turn out. It's not for me to judge, because I will not be reading it. It will be for the fans to judge. But it will always be a very poignant subject of discussion, because it is a subject that exists due to a death. A rather sudden death. And yeah, not that nice. Well, I think it was as sudden as, maybe not super sudden, but, you know, it was sudden for everyone who heard about it. Most people. Well, that took a little while for that one to die. Call an ambulance, but not for me, says Kyoralen. That's a bit of a throwback to the old days, honestly, seeing someone type something like that out. Well, they're using it as a shout. There was a time when you'd have to manually type that out and it had more meaning. Shouts really only became... well, they certainly were not introduced until you had the portable games, you know, the 3DS games, where you couldn't really type. In fact, you were unable to type in the middle of a hunt. The only reason why 3 Ultimate had that shout ability is because it was, at the end of the day, an adaptation of a 3DS game. But fortunately, they did incorporate some Monster Hunter Tri systems, such as their online communication system. But yeah, I'm not really a fan of people sending random shouts. I'll go and paintball our friend. Oh god, what was that? Did I blink or something? He literally disappeared. I don't think there was actually an animation associated with him changing areas like that. He literally just fucking disappeared. It was very bizarre. Usually the monster would at least make some... would have some animation associated with it, like they would either turn to face an exit point and run through it, or they would dig, or they would do something like that, but he was just walking normally and then suddenly disappeared. It was a bit weird. It's like it was a mistake, it's like he didn't mean to leave the area. He accidentally crossed the threshold into the next area, and I happened to witness it. It was an embarrassing moment for him that he likely wishes no one was there to see. Could you imagine if we failed this fucking quest? We've got one death left. And when I say one death left, I mean that the quest is over if one more person fucking dies. This Cure Ralen guy needs to get a grip and realize that it's time to heal. Look at him. He's at half health and he's still getting in there and attacking the monster despite the fact that we are one death away from failure 10 minutes into the fucking hunt. It is time to wake up and start playing defensively, because if we fail this, it is nothing more than wasted time. I was extending my invulnerability period there. Well, there you go. What can I say? Even after extending my invulnerability period there, because I knew what was to come, and that was the tail slam. Regrettably, Glavenus chose for me to be his target 3 times in a row. Whether the second attack was aimed at me or not, it was right on me. So as far as I'm concerned, he just aimed for me 3 times in a row, and my presence of mind to extend my invulnerability period was still insufficient to survive that, so there you go. Recruiting. And we've got Frank doing Nightcloak Malfestio. Sometimes it's nice to know what they're actually doing. Is Nightcloak... I think Nightcloak is a G rank one, isn't it? I think so. I hope so. Because the thing is, I don't have to wonder whether or not it's a high rank deviant if the deviant cannot actually be hunted in high rank. That would be about right. I joined the room, realized that the guy was not actually the room creator, and then he left immediately. So that was great. Bro Hunters. That was the room that I was just in. That's why it was familiar to me. Tigrex May? What's that supposed to mean? Surely not. Surely that's not a reference to the previous British Prime Minister Theresa May. Tigrex May, Theresa May? That's not funny at all. That's not even close to being funny. It's not clever, it's nothing. I mean, what, you're saying she's a monster? Okay, sure, I'm sure a number of people would agree, but it's bizarre. I can't see any other meaning behind that name, but anyway. The hub name is Laoshan Lung and the objective is Laoshan Lung and the quest type is Elder Dragon. This person is covering all their bases to be sure, but I'm not going to have one of my joke weapon roulette runs be a Laoshan Lung hunt. I could get 2 regular hunts out in that time. We've got a turns room, that's essentially the ideal. A guaranteed different hunt every time. Perhaps not a guaranteed different hunt, but a very likely different hunt every time. And I don't have to leave the room. But to be honest, that's generally not guaranteed either. Looks like this guy stuck around for the destruction of a room, and now it's reforming. I will not be using this weapon again. We may not have succeeded in the previous quest, much to my chagrin, but I'm not going to subject you to the same weapon twice, just because we failed the last one. That's not really appropriate. Juvenator made it in. I didn't know that you were wanting to play, man. Say hello next time. Hammergeddon is our choice. This is a fire weapon. It will be used irrespective of the monster that we fight. I don't know who's going to be posting first. Leonardo, the supposed quest host, or room host rather, is seemingly AFK. Oh no, he has since moved. He's just being really docile. Let's just start with player 1 because Leonardo is not taking charge as room host, so just player 1. Go for it, man. Mr. Loveheart. Do you know what P1 means? Please tell me you know what P1 means. This is universal terminology in this bloody community and you still don't know it. You're gonna walk around confused. I can't exactly refer to you by name. You've got a symbol as a name. If I type heart, are you gonna know what that means? Because this person could very well be incapable of communicating in the English language. Or reading it. Oh, for the love of my arse. You said hey? Well, it didn't come up in my chat. When I opened my stream manager, which includes the chat, it said I had 0 viewers and no one had said anything. So you must have said something really soon, like as soon as I went live, and it was not picked up. Tal says, you have to be a serious fucking moron to use a symbol as your username. Well, I'd say you'd have to be a serious fucking moron to be the room host and just refuse to communicate with anyone or attempt to, I don't know, lead the room. I've made my attempt. I mean, I'll fucking post, I don't care. At this point, I don't care. I'll find a monster that's weak to fire to make me feel better about myself. Let's do a Hyper Royal Ludroth. I don't give a shit at this point. At least this will guarantee success. It's a turns room, everyone. The simplest process would be to start from player 1 and descend from there. But Leonardo, being the room host, could easily be the first one to choose, and then we'll go back to player 1 and it will still be in that descending order. That would be fine. But Leonardo is thoroughly unwilling to actually take charge. So I'll do it, I don't care. Looks like Hart can at least do this much. He can see, or she, I don't fucking know, can see that I've got a quest posted, and then she can go and join that, which is great. I'm glad that we can at least... Oh my god, look at the connection of this person. The person did this, right, walked in a straight line here, and had to do it about 3 times for the game to actually register that that had taken place. Well, it had to be done 3 times on my screen, I'm sure. She only did it once. Hey Koroku. Good to see you. And also hello Tal, and Juvenator and Autonomic, just to make sure that everyone has been greeted. I didn't eat, and I don't really care. It's a fucking Ludroth. Hyper or not hyper, it's not going to be difficult. I don't know if the starting area is 7, but it probably is. It's one of the water areas of the Misty Peaks. Although, interestingly, well, I was going to say Mizutsune doesn't start in a water area technically, but that wouldn't be that unusual. Oh, I didn't know they had the hot air balloon in this location. I really didn't know. They added it in Generations then. How weird is that? I had completely convinced myself that that hot air balloon only appeared in the 2nd gen maps. But apparently not. Apparently they actually decided to add it in this location. Upswing in time? Yes, I can. Well, it looked like I would be able to, but I was not able to, and that's fine. Thank you for sponging that hit, Ludroth. Get it? Sponging that hit? Well, it doesn't really apply to the standard Ludroth. He doesn't have a sponge, but still. It sounds like an appropriate word, given the hunt that we're doing. Leonardo has chosen to depart with a hammer. I don't think he was originally using a hammer, although he may have been. I don't know. But I'm using a hammer, and he's using a hammer, and that's probably not great, considering that the head of this monster is bloody small. No, leave me alone. You see, this is not okay for you to assault me like that. Yes, I should have eaten, but seriously. He took his opportunity. He knew that I was on my last legs. This is what happens when I start off the hunt by saying, it's just a Royal Ludroth, it's not going to be hard, whether it's hyper or not. Well, it is hyper, so it deals lots of damage, and if I choose to engage the monster with only 100 health, that's probably going to be risky. But having said that, I don't want to use a max potion on a Ludroth hunt. I think you can appreciate my perspective on that. How's my day been? Well, it hasn't really... Not enough time has transpired for me to really comment on that. It is the morning. I only woke up about 40 minutes ago. But anyway. I'm having said, or having chosen this to be the monster that I hunt, I'm not a huge fan of using Hammer on Ludroth. I don't like his little head, I don't like his movements, I don't like any of it. It's not great for Hammer use, to be honest, at least not for me. I'm not going to say that I knocked him down there. Yeah, whatever, asshole. You fucking... I would rather be using my hammer than your Atulkar hammer. Ugly, gaudy, gold piece of shit. I really don't like Atulkar weapons. I'm so sick of seeing them. Yeah, good on you, man. Should be in position to get the golf swing off, yeah. He must have been KO'd while I was not here, like while I was busy being dead, or being carted, I guess. You don't actually die, you faint, technically, but the point is that, based on how much I've hit him already, he must have been KO'd while I wasn't here. Stop it. Interestingly, that attack is not as damaging as his body slam. I mean, you could possibly call that a body slam as well, but... I mean, where he actually throws himself at you. I suppose it's not all that surprising. I just thought that those two attacks, this one here, I assumed that this would be about the same as that attack that hit me before, but no, that one's considerably more damaging. Stop. Fuck off. I think what I dislike so much about that attack is that he really does cover a lot of ground. His whole body is a hitbox, including his bloody head, which is what hit me last time. Look at this dickhead running around with his heavy bowgun. Is that not the most stomach-churning thing you've ever fucking seen in a Monster Hunter game? Someone running with a heavy bowgun? And people probably think it's perfectly fine. So, well, what's the problem, Dooley? You're running with a heavy bowgun. Well, do you perhaps not think that that is in stark contradistinction to the entire purpose of the weapon type, as it was originally intended? Possibly, I don't know. I suppose I'd better sharpen up, although I don't think this monster's going to last too much longer. But the good thing is that even with this team, I suppose I'm not contributing too much to the overall damage with my silly weapon, but, you know, even with this team, this monster's taking a good beating. It's Ludroth, but it's hyper, and that essentially means that this is still a worthwhile hunt, and I'm happy to see that. My stamina is really not great right now. This guy's surely not using pellet, is he? It's looking a bit like pellet. I haven't even seen pellet in this fucking game, I don't think. But that's looking like pellet. Is this guy, this heart person, unironically using pellet shot with the Orcus Quarkus online? There are 2 points of concern there. The first would be that the person's using pellet instead of pierce with Orcus Quarkus, and the second would be that they are so profoundly inept when it comes to playing with a team and in an online group, that they deem it appropriate to flinch people with pellet, just for their own personal effectiveness in the hunt. Well, there's presumably KO number 2. I was not are you actually witnessing this? I'm asking you because I don't think I'm actually seeing this. It's too surreal, so I'm just asking you guys if you're witnessing the same thing. The thing is, there's no point me explaining to this person not to use pellet. It's just it is a pointless thing for me to try and do. I do not have a keyboard plugged in, and I do not have the patience to do it. And unfortunately, because this is not my room, I cannot kick this idiot. So, there you go. Leonardo is congratulating the team, which is great. And, yeah. If you want my congratulations, Leonardo, you'll kick this heart person from the room. As soon as we return. But yeah, I don't think I'll be sticking around, honestly. I think I will change rooms. It's a bit awkward for Juvenator, who likely wants to hunt with me, but yeah, I don't really care at this point. I do not want to hunt with this person again. Is Pierce a great shot type for Ludroth? Not especially, but it would still be very damaging with that gun, and on top of that, it wouldn't be flinching the hell out of the team, so yeah, the choice is fairly obvious. But not to people lacking basic common sense. So, you know, I guess I have to make an allowance, right? No. Either you go or I go. That's the situation. That's a rather creepy final shot of that Ludroth. He's on his hind legs and he's making a creepy face. Aided, of course, by the visual effect of hyper monsters, where the eyes darken and there's this dark, black and red flame effect coming out of their face. It's a bit, you know, intimidating would be the word. Come to think of it, I'm drinking let me rephrase that in correct English. I am drinking red wine for the first time in a little while. I'll be doing that for quite a while, actually. I've got a lot, so there you go. I'm not sticking around. Sorry, guys. Because I don't think Hart is going to leave of her own volition. And I don't think Leonardo's going to kick her, so I'm moving on. Let's see what's going on in this room. This is one of the recruiting rooms, if you want to follow me, Juvenator. I didn't even check Juvenator's hunter rank. I haven't seen it recently. I think when we first played together he was 100 and something, but he's obviously raised it quite a bit by this point. Sorry you can't make it into this room, Juvenator, but it's just not going to be easy for me at this point to try and get you in. It's too hard. I don't want to host my own room. I'd rather join other people's rooms right now, and yeah. I will go and select another weapon. Now the Ziphius or Ziphius, I don't know if it's Ziphius Gladius or Ziphius Gladius, I really don't know. It's probably Ziphius, because I'm assuming that it's Latin inspired, but anyway, the point is that this is either an ice or water weapon. I don't remember which of the two. I always forget for some reason. It is an ice weapon. And unfortunately, that means that I need a monster that's weak to ice. Or at least takes a little bit of damage from ice. Hello, A-Gaming. It's very nostalgic to see the Uragan Greatsword. I haven't seen anyone use it since Monster Hunter tried. Have not seen a single person use it. Are you fucking kidding me? Well, Elatrion is technically weak to ice when on land, so I guess it's not terrible, but it's still not great. I don't really want to be departing on this quest with this loadout, and I don't think the team is going to very much appreciate this, but believe me, I don't appreciate it very much either. But I suppose if we were going to challenge ourselves, it would be using a non-focus greatsword on an Elatrion with a weapon that's only going to be effective some of the time. This isn't going to be very good, but I'll do my best, I suppose. That's all I can do. That is all I can do. Let's see what other people are using. I'm not sure about this person's sharpness, to be honest. They don't have any sharpness skills. No sharpness +1 or sharpness +2. And they're using a weapon that I believe does not have great sharpness. The damage might look good, but the thing is, if you don't have the sharpness to back it up, it's actually not that good. Sharpness, damage multipliers, on the back end, or in the back end, I don't even know what's ideal to say there. I guess in the back end. Are much more efficacious than one might think. as far as how much they boost the damage of your weapon, while it's not visible, it's significant. So, yeah, while 395 might look good, it might actually not be all that good after all. Did this guy just take 3 potions? Am I going crazy? He just took 3 fucking potions from the box. Imagine being so discourteous. Just having so little regard for one's teammates that you just fucking empty out the box. Like, fuck it, I'm feeling really... I have no confidence in my ability to perform, so I'm just going to steal other people's potions. What an idiot. Anyway. Ow. I'm just trying to drink a cool drink. Can you leave me alone, you stupid bastard of a monster? That's the first time in a long time I've seen someone just try to empty out the fucking box. I'd guarantee you would have taken all 4 if I hadn't taken mine. That was unbelievable. I'm just going to settle for a level 2 charge there. I'll go for level 3, hey. Maybe I should try to follow up with the slash that comes after. The follow-up slash on the charge is probably good to go for. I should be able to get out a level... No, he's going to do that attack. That's fine. The lack of focus is going to hurt for this fucking hunt, but whatever. Am I in range? I don't think I am. Shit. Oh well. Don't flash bomb if you're just doing it randomly. Like, why would you throw a flash bomb in that moment? What the fuck were you trying to achieve? What you achieved was blinding me while I'm trying to play the game, so don't do it. Please, for God's sake. You know, that sort of behavior is not something that I would expect from someone playing in 4th generation. Because there were certain games, particularly those... Oh, no. Particularly those prior to 3rd gen, where flash bombing was rewarded heavily by the game. So people just used it mindlessly. They just threw them because they thought that it would automatically make the game easy if the monster was flashed. Of course, there were certain monsters where they would not be easier when flashed and would instead be harder, but they would always get flashed anyway because of just how mindless the technique was of throwing flash bombs in 1st and 2nd generation Monster Hunter. So to see one mindlessly thrown in 4th gen, where such behavior is not rewarded in that same way, is honestly bizarre. Maybe it was thrown accidentally, but I don't know how it would be possible for one to throw a flash bomb accidentally. Look at this. Oh my god, who's throwing them? Who's the idiot? It's probably Sawana. Oh, sorry, Sawawa. No, it's Swawawa. Your name is almost as stupid as you are, which is appropriate. Honestly. Well, thank you for informing me of that, A-Gaming. Was that a mount? It fucking was. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to contribute all that much with a non-focused greatsword dealing an inappropriate elemental damage type while this monster was in the air, but it turns out I can contribute, ladies and gentlemen. I'm always pleased to see that. Now let's not squander it, boys and girls. Should I be aiming for the head? I think I should be, because fortunately I'm not being pushed off target too dramatically here. I should have gone for the follow-up swing, but I did not. Level 2. Again, my damage here is not that great. Now it's going to be a little better, because he is in land mode. Got a flinch out of him there. Oh my god, the explosive effect of that... I'm staying on the ground for fairly obvious reasons. Yeah, the explosive effect of that looks larger in this game than in games previous, but it might not be that way. It might just look more explosive visually, but it may cover the same distance. I don't know. I'm not going to try to work it out. It's harder to see just what sort of effective range. No, look, it's about the same. I was about to say that it's hard to see it when it's so explosive like that, but I was standing in a good position to get an idea, and yeah, it looked pretty good. Don't do your claw. The claw really is the... Okay, you're not doing the fireball. But yeah, the Dragon Claw of Elatrion is what is most frustrating to any Blade Master user, especially if you're going Greatsword. It just limits your positioning options, and that's precisely what it's designed to do. Oh, I actually pulled out my weapon there with the intention of resisting the wind pressure. But that was not good enough. We're going to fail, by the way, because this team fucking sucks. Has this person died twice? Or, no, it was Cola who died before. The problem is I can't really make fun of the team or speak ill of the team if I'm coming into this quest with a joke loadout, so I do need to hold my tongue if I can, but it's going to be hard. And after having twice died in this recording in a most unedifying spectacle of poor performance, I probably am not in a position to deride the play of any person that I'm playing with today. Except for Swawawa, because that person took 3 fucking potions out of the box. 3 stacks of potions, that is to say. Oh, he wouldn't have actually taken them all, of course, because that would be more than 10. So... yeah, I'm sure that if he were able to do so, he would have taken all stacks of potions for sure. He would have done it. That was the only thing that saved the team from being left potionless. Well, not potionless, but I guess first aid med plus-less. Yeah. Because I'm sure they brought their own potions, but they... well, let's put it this way, if they brought their own first aid meds, then they're cheaters, okay? Oh, never mind. Oh, unless I've already used one. Have I already used a first aid med? Yeah, it probably is in stacks of 3. It would be unusual to have stacks of 2. Am I in range? Please be in range. Oh. It was interesting. The movement of the monster was... putting the tail close to me, but it was the tail cut animation, so there was nothing to hit. It had already been severed. Swawawa is going straight into the noob carve. Look at these guys. They have so... well, they rightly have little confidence in our abilities to succeed, but at least be a little more sensible with your carving. Shit, I get that you're expecting to fail, so you at least want something from the hunt, but don't have 2 people carving at the same time. Because that's just going to raise the chances of being hit. This... oh, it's probably Koala. I read it as Cola, but... it's probably Koala with a C instead of a K. Whether that's an intentional misspelling or not, I can't possibly imagine, but... anyway. I'm in trouble, says Swawawa. He... is... well, his troubles are only beginning, if we want to talk about the Ice Blight. He's got a few more fundamental issues at hand that need to be dealt with. Like how to play in a group. Not playing 3 Ultimate lately. I'm not playing it now, but I have been playing it lately. Very much so. I can't... if I were to go and play it right now, you would be seeing approximately 2 people online. So that is why I'm not playing it right now. If it were more than 2 people online, or 1 person online, I would be playing it. Sadly, at this time of day, on a weekday, there's just no one doing that. So weekends are the time to play 3 Ultimate. That is when everyone comes on. For the love of God. That's alright. It's joke weapon roulette, it's for fun. It's not serious, guys. It's not serious. Anyway. That was fun. Am I going to be staying in this room or what? I actually don't know. I don't think this is necessarily a turns room. I didn't see any sort of objective. The objective is recruiting. Swawawa has left in a huff. Quite honestly, that guy is a danger to society because of how incredibly stupid he is. I'm happy to hang around if there's something to do. I don't know who posted that. It might have been Wisley. S. Wisley BR. Well, ironically, after having slagged off Brazilian players, A-Gaming, the Brazilian guy was playing perfectly fine. The other two, I think, were Chinese. Anyway. I can't speak for Swawawa, but I do know that that koala guy who spelt it with a C rather than a K was Chinese. Salty Queen Slam. What? Some fucking... I don't even want to talk about it. Anyway. I don't really know what the objective for this room is. Oh, it's turns, so there's no specific objective. Let's see what this guy posts first. Hopefully it's something good. I will go and select a weapon for myself. Filth Abolisher. Another elemental weapon, and I believe it's also ice. This one's pretty funny. This one, I think, was first brought about either in 4 or Generations. I don't remember which, but... yeah, of course, it's a joke insect glaive, so therefore it would not have existed prior to 4th Gen. Who is Swedish Twink 69? This is not a person that I've ever met. I don't know why you're referencing this person, but I suppose they do have a funny name, and who would have thought? An Ice Weak monster. Thank you very much, person whose name I cannot read. It's always nice when that happens. I will bring Weakener. Oh, I might not get it. Oh, I did get it. It was the one skill that I did get. Which I'm happy to see. I don't even know what the other one was. I wasn't eating for that one. X-Ray entered the hub. Dynamite. Oh, you're Dynamite? Okay. I will not comment upon your choice of weapon type, because technically cats are a weapon type. I won't comment on it. But I will bring up my guild card. And that should give you an idea of my opinion on them. And 2 of those uses were outside of my control. The only legitimate use of cat that I've ever had was back in Generations, because this character was carried over from there. So... anyway, that's the end of that. I'll now move on. Oh, yeah, I'll send your... well, I actually showed it on screen, but I'll send it to you as well, I don't mind. I didn't read that until we had departed. Some random person that joined my last Monster Hunter G lobby. There's someone who plays Monster Hunter G who has named themselves Swedish Twink 69. That's really hard to imagine. Because the thing is, people who play Monster Hunter 1 and G are just better people. I'm not saying that it's bad to be a Swedish twink, I'm just saying that, you know, that's a really bad name. It's really bad. And adding the 69, you know. It reminds me of the band, the German glam band from the 90s, Pink Cream 69. Which I actually enjoy, I like that band, but... that's a fucking bad band name. And they get a pass on it because they're German. Well, actually, I suppose if he's Swedish... No, Swedish people generally have a very good command of the English language. So, perhaps not generally, but a lot of them do. So I'd say there's a... I don't think there's much excuse for a Swedish person to name themselves that. It's a bad name. It's stupid. I don't even have Mounting Master, and look how quickly I mounted this guy. Maybe Mounting Master really is a complete waste of time in this game. Because it still sucks, right? Mounting attacks still suck, as they should after the game that came before Generations. And, yeah, like, I generally only get the one mount at the start of the hunt, so... But the thing is, I want to have an Insect Glaive specific skill on my Insect Glaive set, so I use Mounting Master. If I could be on target, that would be excellent. I thought I'd get out of the way of that follow-up attack, but I did not. It's got more range than I first thought. How did I run out of my triple colors already? Am I going crazy? Or did that run out way faster than it should have? I don't know. I'm not all that impressed by what I just saw. Seems like this fellow is poisoned as well. He's getting beaten down. I tried to roll through that, but my timing was poor and I probably wouldn't have succeeded anyway. Go away. Trying to hit the head. I'll get it. Ugh. Well, maybe I didn't actually make contact with that. That's alright. No, you guys don't see much of me using Insect Glaive. There are reasons for that. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate kind of ruined the weapon for me, but... That's not to say that I have this expectation that I'm going to infinitely mount spam monsters and just shit on them. It's... I guess I overused the weapon back then, and... I don't really know how to describe it. I suppose if I wanted a taste of a new weapon type back then, I would use Insect Glaive because I didn't like Charge Blade. I wasn't interested in it at all. It wasn't until this game, this exact game here, not even Generations, but Generations Ultimate, that I gave Charge Blade a good try. I had made the inaccurate assessment of Charge Blade that it had no business existing in a series where Switch Axe already existed. But then when I actually played Charge Blade, I realized that, in actual fact, in a game series where Charge Blade exists, Switch Axe has no business existing, because Switch Axe is just a fucking shit weapon type. Whereas Charge Blade is exciting, dynamic, and meaningful. Whereas Switch Axe is designed for monkeys, so... Yeah, sorry. There are Switch Axe fans out there who really don't like me right now. Like, right now. But I hate that weapon type. It's just bad. It's stupid. It doesn't achieve anything unique on its own. It gives the illusion of being unique and interesting by having two different modes that you can morph in and out of, but it's shit. It's just bad. It's a poorly thought out weapon type, which should have been abandoned, and it existed at the expense of several other weapon types back in Tri. Or existed to the exclusion of several weapon types back then. It was a bad time. I think it's because I actually played the game that it first appeared in, that I have such a harsh opinion of the weapon type. Well, people, yeah, there are people who stream Monster Hunter 2. It's not that unusual, honestly. I don't want to play Monster Hunter 2 until it gets online support. I just don't. I don't enjoy solo Monster Hunter enough to want to put myself through that shit. I've played a bit, but not much. Because it's solo Monster Hunter. Like, if I'm doing solo Monster Hunter to actually play with other people, with a loadout, then sure, but... Yeah, I've got other focuses. Or other points of focus at this point. Can you die already? How long is your death animation? Jeez. Like a 10-minute death animation. But yeah, I'm not much of a solo Monster Hunter player. I can play solo, and I have done that. How else would I have completed the village of each game? But I don't enjoy it. At least not as much as I enjoy online play. I suppose it would be more accurate to say I enjoy it considerably less, so it gives off the impression in my own mind that I don't enjoy it. But it's Monster Hunter, and Monster Hunter is good, so it's enjoyable still, just far less. Far less so than the online experience. That was Monster Hunter Tri that completely spoiled me. When I played Tri, I wasn't going back after that. That was my online Monster Hunter genesis. And it was amazing. Every iteration in the series after Tri was me chasing that same experience. Not to be left disappointed, but definitely to be left looking back at Tri with very fond eyes. Not rose-tinted glasses, fond eyes. There were a lot of problems with Tri. A lot of problems. But the online was amazing. What? Do I have good cats? Can you share? No? Oh, are you asking because I don't use cat? So therefore, I may as well give them to you. Well, I do have good cats, but they were given to me by good friends. From when the game came out. Like, we're talking people who no-lifed generations, carried over their files, and then gave me their cats. So, no. Sorry, it's not a personal thing, it's just... They gave them to me because I was their friend, and I'm not going to give them away to someone I don't personally know. Sorry. What am I doing? Is this a turns room? I suppose it's my turn, isn't it? Well, I'd best select my weapon first. Let's see what I'm going to use. Ladies and gentlemen, that is 3 ice weapons in a row. What is going on? Oh, I need to actually equip the fucking weapons if I'm going to use them. That is how that works. Am I being informed of the fact that it is my turn? I think I worked that out. Player 2. I think he twice said that. He felt it necessary to twice tell me that it's player 2 even though I was standing at... Okay, guy, I've worked it out. I was looking at the quest giver. You can cool it. Fucking hell. Oh, alright, yeah. That is 4 confirmations that it's my turn. I think I got it. I'm going to keep my webcam view here so you can see any updates to him informing me of the fact that it's my turn. I've never seen someone so forcefully apprise someone of the fact that it is their turn. That is new. That's a first for me. Alright, he's relaxed now. He got it off his chest, finally. Oh my god. That's right. It is my turn, and I'm glad that he let me know, otherwise I wouldn't have known. I suppose the irony is that I worked it out on my own without having to read his insistent pestering. Alright, what is, well, we could do Zenoga. I'm going to look through the monster list and see what might be appropriate. I suppose a hyper monster would be best. What's notably weak to ice? We're not doing fucking Kirin. Ew, Kirin. I haven't really done much Kirin in this game. Suppose we could do Hyper Raja. Yeah, alright, let's do that. Rajang against the machine. So funny, right? They literally got to the point where they were referencing real-life bands with their joke quest names in this game. That's how far they went. P2 means player 2, autonomic. I'm the second person in the player list, and typically in a turns room it will go in descending order from player 1. So really the significance of number 2 is obvious, and then, you know, what word could possibly start with P that would be relevant to the person in the room? Well, that would be player, because it's written right there. But I do accept that people who don't speak English might not understand its significance, but yeah. I am often struck, especially with that person with the heart name before, by just how many people don't understand that terminology in this community. It's so heavily used. Whoops, I thought I was one of the people readying up. I was not. I'm the quest host. Did I eat? I did, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did, yes. I ate for a weakener, but got exchanger. Of course, I don't need exchanger for fairly obvious reasons. No one needs exchanger. People want exchanger. But I will not actually receive any benefit from it, because I'm at max hunter rank. Nice cat suit. Yes, the cat suits are a bit creepy, but anyway. I may as well just farcast at this point. I don't know if this would have been especially faster. I'll have to remember to restock my farcaster now. That's fine. I'd say that was faster. Good old Raja. Has he been paintballed? Yeah, he must have been. I haven't consumed a... whatever it's called, Psycho Serum. Look how quickly my stamina is just destroyed by this weapon type. What kind of balancing choice is that? Giving... I think it must be something within the region of 3 full seconds, maybe even 4 full seconds of telegraphing. When he's doing his laser. I mean, what's that about? We get it, you're doing your laser, fuck. I'm not living life at 3 times speed. Notice how I haven't used absolute readiness even once. It's not because I don't like it. It's because I just don't think to use it. It's not in my mind. I don't rely very much on Hunter Arts. I use them, I guess. I just don't rely on them. I can't believe that I got 3 ice weapons in a row. I don't have that many ice weapons as joke weapons, you know. There goes X-Ray. That was... how many sorries was that? That was 3 consecutive sorries. I think he regrets what happened, guys. But I suppose it's better to apologize profusely than to just coldly ignore the fact that you died. Which sounds a bit more like me, really. But, you know, if I died stupidly, I'll apologize. And if I appreciate the team and the objective of the team, yeah, I'll genuinely apologize for my death. Oh no, I'm gonna get caught in that, never mind. I would love to get my dual blades charge back up. What is going on exactly? I didn't choose this quest with the intention of failing it. Is this going to be quest failure number 3 in this recording? I think it will be. I've just got a sense. I mean, it feels like the quest only just started and we've already got 2 people dead. We've got 2 people not currently contributing to the hunt because they're having to make their way back. One of them has spent, you know, a full minute at camp, possibly choking the chicken, because I don't know what the fuck else they'd be doing. Oh, it was X-Ray. Well, you know, he might have been doing something important. He's a gunner. He's got gunner things to worry about. Alright, can I get my charge back up now? Thank you. See how effective it is to get your charge back up with that? Well, let me rephrase that. Do you see how effective it is when you use the X combo, I guess would be how you'd refer to it, in getting one's charge up? That was still a fairly convoluted and poorly worded way to phrase all of that. Oh, okay. I didn't realize that you were mocking him by typing player 2. Yeah, he's heading off into the desert. Very well. Well, he's technically in the desert now, but I mean in the actual hot, sandy areas. How slow does he fucking fly? Well, I suppose he's not being propelled, but you'd think if he were moving that fucking slowly, he would lose altitude sooner than it would allow him to successfully land in this area. You know, if you can jump that fucking far, you should be doing it faster than that. Like, the propulsion required to get this far, you would think, just by jumping, would require him to be faster than that. Anyway, I'm not going to get into the physics of it because I don't know the terminology, but the point is that that makes no sense. He was floating to where he needed to go, not actually jumping to it. Can you please... Oh my god! That would have been... I would not have taken issue with dying there because... Oh, give me a break. I hate that attack because it looks like you won't get hit by it. Even if you're in this... Alright, good on you, Cephalos, seriously. Even if you think you don't get hit by that attack, or that you won't get hit by that attack, you often will be hit, so it's good to just dive to be sure. It's better to at least show that you realized you were in danger than just taking a hit. Look at how much fucking distance this asshole covers. Look at that. Can you believe that? Oh my god. You wouldn't have heard it, but a truck honked its horn outside, and it perfectly coincided with the moment he died. It was really funny. It was like this, and as soon as the fist came down and killed him, that sound happened in the background for me. But I don't think it would have been audible for you. It was pretty funny, actually. No, it's all good. I had anticipated failure, so it's alright. And I remembered to restock on that. Alright, P3. I wasn't selecting that quest with the intention of getting any materials, so I'm happy to move on to the next person. I'm saying P3... Oh, okay, thank you. He has... I'll tell you what. This guy has no reservations about skipping the guy who had his teammates fail his quest. Like, I didn't contribute to that failure, and yet this guy is of the mind to skip my turn. You see, I wrote player 3 to make it clear that I don't mind moving on to the next person, but he doesn't know. He doesn't know that I was doing that quest for fun and not because I needed something. What a dick. I didn't contribute to that failure whatsoever, so imagine skipping me on that basis. Anyway, let's change weapons, shall we? Heavenly Dango, I think that's the one that is raw based. It's really bad. The Heavenly Dango dual blades are pretty bad. Here they are. Check these out. Fucking hell. Got 305 damage with them, good sharpness, okay, you know, passable. But it's thanks to my armor set that they are passable. Otherwise, it'd be just a joke. Well, it's supposed to be a joke, I suppose. Drill Tusk G2. Well, thank you for posting a G rank hunt. If it were some high rank Drill Tusk, I'd probably start screaming. Hold on, is it 2 Drill Tusk? It is. Weakener. And Bulldozer. Bulldozer is an appropriate sounding feline skill for this particular hunt. Because the Tetsukabra monsters are indeed reminiscent of bulldozers in one way or another. What's with the fucking barrel cat? What is going on? I didn't even know that that was an outfit for a cat to wear. I haven't seen that before. I've seen some funky outfits in this game, but for cats, but that's a new one. I do know of the cat that hides in a barrel. He goes back to Pocket Village days, but yeah, as far as that being an option for your feline, that's new information for me. Okay. Looks like we're starting over here, which is fine by me. We may be at risk of being invaded, but that's fine. Alright, can you relax, Drill Tusk? You're really getting upset at the moment. Surely I didn't just bounce on him. It rather looked like I bounced on him. I hope not. Oh, I see. There must be... When you no longer have the tail as a weak point, it may harden. Possibly to discourage people from attacking it in the first place, but to be completely honest, I think that if the person knew that this was a weak point at all, they would know when it would stop being a weak point. A person who was just unfamiliar with the way this monster works would be more likely to exclusively aim for the face. You jumped so far that you missed every intended target in that moment. So I don't know what's going on with your Tetsukabra. What a chaotic attack AI this monster has. He just jumps all over the fucking place. He is probably one of the most aggressive monsters in the series, Drill Tusk Tetsukabra. He's just so gung-ho about hitting the hunter. Throws himself all over the fucking area. But it's fun, and it's different. When he carries that thing in his mouth, it bothers me. Oh, he's falling backwards, that's right. Almost forgot about that attack. Almost forgot about it. I can't see what's going on, but I was able to see that I took a hit at least. Yeah, these dual blades, well, that was a very fortunate flinch, thank you for that. It's one of the rare occasions where I can thank a person for flinching me. But yeah, these dual blades are not very good, but again, my armor set makes them passable, so I do feel as if I'm at least dealing something in the way of damage. I would not ordinarily use these weapons. They're just not good at all. Take it easy, Tetsukabra. I always considered Tetsukabra to be one of the more goofy monsters from 4. Tetsukabra and Kechawacha, they're just really goofy. And I didn't like them that much. I enjoyed hunting them, but as monsters, I wasn't a huge fan. I don't know if you noticed that, but he just looked as if he randomly fell on the ground. Like he just fell on his back. For no real reason at all. He of course was mounted. He just didn't have that appearance. Ugh, my eye is itching. Just to inform you of why I'm scratching it. I'd like to think that if I'm scratching my eye, the reason for it would be fairly clear. It's part of human function. Can you believe that there are two of these fuckers? Well, at least, upon having said that, this guy started limping away. That's one good thing at least. Oh my god. You know, when you enter an area and then you see the paintball of the monster moving right onto your position, he technically wasn't in that moment, but it reminds me of when you do enter an area, you can't see what's going on because it's a loading screen, and then the fucking paintball moves right on you. It's scary. It's like you're being attacked and you can't do anything about it. But you're not actually going to take a hit because you're still loading, you see. But it is scary, in a way. Fuck off, you Zamite bastard. Look at him go. He's fucking breakdancing on the ground. I mean, thanks for the performance, but I'm trying to carve. I may as well sharpen up. I was actually surprised to see my sharpness drop to blue, to be completely honest. I was expecting to get that first one killed before I could drop to blue, but I guess I had a high DPS during this hunt, which is encouraging, I suppose. Did I just bounce off the fucking face? What is going on with this monster? He's very hard. Feel free to misinterpret that, I don't care, but the point is, he's well armored. I really don't like the dual blades weapon type. Among my least favorite, I would say. Perhaps least favorites would make sense, because I'm apparently referring to multiple, and I am indeed. I'd say my least favorite weapon types would be... See, I don't even want to include Hunting Horn. I'd say that Hunting Horn would definitely be in my list of least used, but I don't have an issue with Hunting Horn. I'd say my least favorites would be Switch Axe followed by Dual Blades. I can still use them and enjoy them, but I don't... They are my least favorite. What are you doing? What is that attack? Holy fucking hell. That is a scary body slam. I actually don't think I've seen that. It's because I haven't fought much Drill Tusk that I haven't seen that before, but that's a scary fucking attack. Anyway. Glad I wasn't on the receiving end of that. That was good. The ledge actually served to cancel my dive animation after it had achieved what it needed to achieve, which allowed me to position myself for an attack much sooner than I otherwise would have been able to do. Well, I'd like to make use of that trap, but I also want to make use of this knockdown. And I also want to get my Dual Blades charge up while he's getting... Okay, well, he's rolling further and further away from the trap, but so be it. He's rolling a lot, isn't he? He thinks he's a Royal Ludroth. I generally would not attack a monster while mounted, but I feel encouraged to do that with the knowledge that it actually hurts the monster. Again, that was something I didn't always know. I just assumed that there was no way they would allow for that. So imbalanced, but apparently that's how it is. I almost feel bad for you, Tetsukabra. You've been terribly beaten. But I also find you a rather unpleasant monster. Not unpleasant to fight, I just don't like your design especially. This Tetsukabra is getting absolutely rolled. You're right about that. I remember when the word rolled first appeared. I heard it from my mother, actually. She's a high school teacher. And she said... it was so funny. We were both laughing about it. We were laughing our asses off because we both have a very similar sense of humor. It's a strange sense of humor. We find certain things funny that most other people wouldn't find especially funny, but... you know, I'm going to tell the story, and if you don't find it funny, then so be it, but it's fucking hilarious to me. I don't think it was my mother's class, but it was a class in the same hallway. This kid fucking went nuts. Like, he got out of his fucking chair. Like, someone had told him something, like one of his friends, obviously, and he got out of his chair. He was in a rage, and he fucking ran out of the room ready to beat the living shit out of someone. Now, what... And my mum was like, what was going on? And she found a student and said, what has happened with him? And the student said, oh, he found out the person who organised for him to get rolled. My mum's like, what? Rolled? What do you mean? And the kid's like, yeah, he got rolled on the weekend. It's like, what? What does that mean? Basically, you know, some kids went and beat him up, and he had found out who was behind it. But you know, they say no, he got rolled on the weekend. He got rolled. Okay, it's just the most stupid terminology. I've always disliked colloquialisms, but the way people just willingly use such stupid terminology in the utmost of serious situations, it's just so dumb. I hate quests like these. Can we not do this quest? This is awful. This is really your idea of a fun quest. If you need something from it, then fine, but this is so shit. I hate long arena hunts. They are so boring. Ugh. Yeah, no, it was said unironically, Tal. It was said unironically, and... yeah, very funny. Very funny. Oh, I see. You were playing 3 Ultimate with... yes, I remember that. I've just been informed that Rizeru in this room is one of the 2 people that I had randomly joined a room with. Well, he was in the room. There were 2 people in the room in 3 Ultimate. I joined, and his friend knew me from Twitch, and yeah. So he's turned up to play with me today. Oh, X-Ray left. Thank you. Dear Lord. After expressing such heartfelt thanks, he has now left. Maybe, you never know. This player 1 guy is a bit strange, so he may have kicked him. I'm not sure. I don't want to do this hunt, so I'm perfectly happy if he leaves, never to return, but... You know, if he was genuinely this excited to have someone to help him with this quest, and then he either disconnected or was forcefully disconnected, then that's pretty unfortunate for that guy. Anyway. What was I doing? Yes, I was changing weapons. The 3-star master set. Is that elemental? It might be. There are 2 hammers like these. One is elemental, one is not. I think this is the elemental one. Okay. That one is the sleep version. Where the hell is it? Did I go past it? Oh, it must be on the other page. Okay. Wait, no, what's going on? Oh, I must be getting confused. It's not this. It must be the dual blades. Yes, okay, so I knew that it was related to cooking utensils. Well, perhaps a knife and fork would not be accurately referred to as cooking utensils, but, you know, the culinary items, I suppose one would say. Oh no, these are cooking utensils, excuse me. A spatula and a ladle. I was thinking it was the knife and fork. The point is, you can see why I got confused. It doesn't matter. Well, you didn't end up seeing the cooking pot, but it's literally a frying pan hammer. I thought it was one of those, but I suppose to be fair, it's referred to as a set, so why would you refer to a single frying pan as a set? That would be unusual. Well, I've never seen someone thank the group or the host as many as 6 times for being allowed to post in a room where it's a fucking turns room and he finally had his turn. Like, it's not something to thank us for, it's the nature of the room. I'll give you my guild card. Send to Yara. But yeah, I would not, to be completely honest, Tal, I would not know of the term rolled if I had not heard it from that story. I would not have known, because I've never heard anyone use it, whether ironically or otherwise. I've only ever heard it from that story. So, it's pretty funny. Yeah, he got rolled. Yeah, look, let's, you know how we're gonna deal with that guy? Let's fucking roll him on the weekend. It's just so ridiculous, you know? Don't really want red wine on my carpet, actually. Come to think of it, I'm not especially enamored with that notion. It was a tiny amount, but still, like, I don't want it though. Oh, okay, yes, I can send my guild card again. Okay, what the fuck is going on? He's saying he needs monster broth. Well, look, if you don't have a good idea of a hunt to do, then that's your problem. I don't know if you can get monster broth from... Look, if you need it, then that's your problem. Find another objective that we can assist you with. If you can't find another objective, then With the greatest of respects, that's not our fucking problem. I just slightly overfilled my glass, so I have to wipe things up a little bit. Greatsword is my most used weapon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Greatsword would be my favorite Blade Master weapon. What is that? What is that quest that he's posted? It's brown. What is a brown quest? What? Oh, are you for real? No, I'm not doing it. No, sorry. Guys, I know this might sound really petty, but I do not want to have my guild card have Prowler go from number 3 to number 4. I don't want that. I'm not using a Prowler again. Because, again, I only used it those 2 times after Generations, because I really needed something from a Prowler-only quest. But, like, I think I needed to clear the quest to get through a villager request line. I don't want to do it. It's not going to happen. So sorry, Yara, however I want to pronounce that. I know it might be hard to get into a room with me again, but... Oh, that room was closed. But yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not using cat. Conga la 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 la. Okay. Why is a hunter rank 367 setting an HR minimum of 500 for Congalala? What is going on? Whatever. I'm just going to ignore that. Let's join Roberto. Roberto. Why am I rolling my R's like that? If you can get into this room, that is if you're following me. I mean, you can stay in that room if you'd like, but... Yeah. I'm in a turns room. Look for turns rooms and... I might be in it. But yes, we're using the 3-star master set regardless. It is fortunately... It's actually a reasonable pair of dual blades. 355 damage, I've got purple sharpness, triple slot, which means I can get attack up large on this set. It's good. Hey, he made it in. But yeah, we've now relocated. I've got a good weapon ready to go. Happy for Roberto to post. It seems that is what he's... Well, that is what he was doing until he performed instant transmission. The gloom of 1001 nights. Oh my fucking god. This is the best thing you can post when you've got a full room ready to go to do your hunt. The gloom of 1001 nights. Yeah, gloom is right. I'm feeling pretty fucking gloomy that this is your idea of an appropriate hunt to post. What are you doing? You're hunting 171, posting Adulkar, and it's event Adulkar. I'd rather pull my teeth out one by one. By tying each of them to a door with a piece of string and then slamming the door. You should make a lobby, to be honest. No, I shouldn't, because I don't enjoy doing that. But thank you for the recommendation. Alrighty. Is this an appropriate weapon for this hunt? As appropriate as it's going to be in this series. It definitely could be worse. I could be using the entirely wrong element. Which again, as I say, is one of the downsides to this series. What's going on? Yeah, this video recording series. What is with this summary? Okay. I enjoyed the random capitalization of the word walls. Oh, someone took that one. Good day. You repulsive monster. I don't... look. Atalkar, the first time I fought him, I was just laughing, okay? And then after my first fight, I started to dislike him. He started off being funny, and then I disliked him. That's the final boss of this game. I would have very much preferred this monster if he stayed in this sort of mode here, like as the actual insect, instead of fighting a big mecha. I don't like giant robot fights in any video game, and it turns out that this is included in that. I like that Capcom wanted to do something a little different, but I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. Well, maybe I can get to the head? Not really. At least I made an attempt. Oh, thank you. My hair is hair. Some people like it, some may be neutral to it, and you never know, some people may dislike it, but it's there. It is there, and it's hair. I am now Dr. Seuss incarnate. Did you see how that thing just flew through the air, moved backwards, and then plopped on the ground? That was ridiculous. I'm glad the 3-star master set... Well, let me put it this way. The knife and fork never become good. I don't even know if I made the knife and fork in this game. I might not have, because they were just so exceptionally underwhelming. But the spatula and ladle... Can we actually not do this right now? The spatula and ladle are actually pretty good when you fully upgrade them. Compared to the likes of the really poor knife and fork weapons. Get on it! God. I'm going to lose my opportunity. We only just got up there and I'm already being thrown off, you know? I don't like this hunt. Sorry. It's just dumb, it's boring. Compare this to Gen Moran. Come on. Some people don't like Gen Moran, but I encourage those people to fight Lao Shan Lang. Interestingly enough, and it's really strange how the tables have turned, more people have fought, I think, in the modern Mod Stunner community, Lao Shan Lang than Gen Moran, which is really interesting, but anyway. It used to be the opposite. But with every generational change comes different experiences among a generality of people, and yeah, it's interesting, but not wholly surprising. Looks like we broke something on him. I'm not going close to him. I'm not interested in taking hits. I need to avoid that as best I can. Let's actually try to hit the face this time. The good thing about Demon Dance is that you can fairly reliably hit the same thing repeatedly with a full combo. Whereas other times you might have to really go out of your way to reposition in order to do that, but it's very focused damage on one spot for a full combo. While your weapons do flail around at least once or twice during the combo, for the most part you are hitting the same thing repeatedly, so it is ideal for that sort of thing. For example, if you wanted to cut a Chameleo's tail, it's really good to use Demon Dance with dual blades because the end of that Chameleo's tail is a bit small and annoying to hit with a lot of weapon types, but dual blades works quite well with that. That's what I found anyway. That was just one example that came to mind. Thank you for that. A blast weapon on, well, what I would assume to be a blast weapon on Adolkar is an interesting choice, but it's probably fine. I would have never thought to use blast, but it's fine. Alright, time to heal, because literally this dickhead's just walking around and is hurting me, so... You'd think Roberto would open his eyes and realize that he was the only one actually attacking that side of him. I suppose I may have been guilty of that earlier on in the hunt. I don't know if attacking... Well, I think anything that we attack on the back is dealing damage, but... You want to look for good damage, which is not here, it's rather past the garbage that's in the way, and then... Oh, great. I think what pushed me off was me bouncing on something, and then I was pushed backwards, obviously, and I slid off. Which is no fun. No fun at all. Are you charging your greatsword, Yada? I understand that it's better to perhaps not charge if you want to apply blast damage to the monster, but a greatsword is a greatsword. That was pretty cool. You did that attack at the same time I sharpened my weapon, and it was very cinematic. Ugh. God, this hunt sucks. I'm sure some people enjoy it. I have no doubt that some people enjoy it. I'm not one of those people, as I think I have successfully made abundantly clear. Thank you for that. Can we break this, please? Perhaps not. I think that's the one we need to break to actually reach the final part of the fight. Or perhaps not. No, there's actually a damage threshold. It's not breaking that. There is a damage threshold that puts him here. Which is what I think I originally believed and assumed, but I had to relearn it, seemingly. No, keep away from me. He dropped his wheel. Well, you went and fucked up, didn't you? That's pretty much the only thing that makes you difficult in the final part of the fight. It's your stupid wheel that you swing around. I'm surprised by how much we're beating on this event, Adolkar. I guess the team's actually pretty good. I don't think I'm contributing as much as I could be, but I'm contributing something in the way of damage at least. Ugh, not good. Wow. This is nicely done. I'm impressed by the team. I'm really impressed by that. That was a really good run, guys. I'm going to give you a good hunt. That's rare in this community. That was pretty well done. I mean, again, let's not forget that was event. That was not standard. And, yeah, overall, nicely done. Adolkar Fine Silk. I I think I said this last time I fought Adalkar, but literally the only thing that I like about this hunt is how the arena looks when it's over. So what that means is that my favourite part of the Adalkar hunt is when the hunt is over. Is Brandon still playing Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate? I don't know, I haven't seen him. I don't play regularly. I do play it occasionally, but it's not like I see him every day. Don't think I've seen him since I was hunting with him with you. I don't think I got an iridescent carapace there, but that's alright. Stamina plus 5/3 slot is probably, you know, pretty good, but I have a sneaking suspicion that I've got something better, so I'm not going to take it. And even if I did have something better, I don't think I would necessarily use it or make use of it. Alright. Let's see what we get next, both in terms of quests and weapons. This is a bit of a classic. The Crunchy Corn Popper. What a... Okay, whatever. He got his quest done and he's out. To be honest, I don't think that's a bad way to approach it. You know, rotating people in and out really is a good way to keep things going. I've definitely been guilty of that. Crunchy Corn Popper is actually a pretty good gun lance if you're shelling only, and that is what I'll be doing with it. Feels weird to be doing it here without artillery or anything like that, but I certainly wouldn't be using it as a normal gun lance. I will be shelling with it primarily here. It is shot level 5 wide, which means that it's ideal for charge shelling. Grimclaw G3, here we go. Here we go. But yeah, this gun lance went out of use after Freedom Unite. But it's still here. You never see people using this anymore. The bamboo gun lance became the new standard for shelling, but even then, that's really only Monster Hunter Portable 3rd when people were doing that. Gun lance shelling is not really a common strategy anymore. But the sharpness in this game with sharpness plus 2 does make it almost worthwhile to attack with it normally. Could try and do heavy shots with it. Yeah, I suppose I could do that. But I think I'll be doing some charge shelling, for the most part. Ugh, hair. Yes, hair. Jupiter joined the room. I think I'm ready to go. We have someone running Paralysis Sword and Shield. Yada is going damage, I'm going damage in Jupiter, I didn't see, but he's probably going damage too. I think we're in good stead to succeed in this hunt. The only problem is I'm not that comfortable with Grimclaw. His movements are largely unfamiliar to me. Sometimes fighting Grimclaw with only your knowledge of Tigrex as a basis for how to play against this monster can be specifically harmful, because you expect one thing and you get something different. And it puts you in an awkward position. Why did I do that? That is such bad habit. I'm literally pretending like I'm playing Freedom Unite. I was supposed to get my... See, I've basically fucked up my damage just by doing that, but whatever. I don't think I can get out of the way in time. I bloody well cannot. Oh well. I've reduced my damage rather foolishly here, but that's okay. It's not forever, it's not for the whole hunt, you just have to wait until Wyvern Fire charges up again. Oops. Not very good. What am I doing? This is what I'm doing. Wow. Oh, never mind. See, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, I responded with wow, thinking, okay, well, where were the rocks? And then that came out. That's what I mean. If you fight this monster expecting Tigrex stuff, you're going to get hit. Oh my god. See what I mean? This is why I'm having problems with Grimclaw. I haven't learned how to fight Grimclaw. I don't actually know what he does. Ping, ping. Don't do it, man. Fucking hell. You have to be very careful, Jupiter. Doing sleep in a community... It's good of you to put down bombs, but come on, man. It failed. It failed. Do you have a detonation plan? Holy hell. What a joke. Oh. I assumed he was going damage. I wasn't 100% sure, but it's unlikely that a person would be going status support with a light bowgun in this community, but you can see that he's seeking to do that, and he finds himself in a community where people are not used to that sort of thing. So, yeah. Sorry if I hit you, Yara. I'm sorry about that. Didn't intend for that. And it's not helpful to reduce the damage of the team by hitting someone away like that. Did I say that white is good for Wyvern Fire? It's not. It's good for charged shelling, which is what I'm doing right now. Stupid. I always get confused. I always imagine in my head that, for some reason, logically in my mind, long makes more sense for charged shelling, but it's not. That's not the reality. The charged shelling is wide, Wyvern Fire is long, and normal is for charged shots, like heavy shots, sorry. There's just something about it. There's a logical impasse there for me. I will Wyvern Fire soon. Good. Ow! That's not so good. I'm getting out of here and healing. Fucking hell. I think someone may have... Oh no, I think someone cut the tail, maybe. Either they put down a trap or cut the tail. I don't know if we're pinged for a tail cut. Maybe not. I'll go away. I think I pulled out my weapon there as I entered the next area. I did. My timing is so good. Hello, Simply Roam. Oops. So now I'm going to be dealing real good damage with these shelling attacks. This is what I should have done in the first place, but I had rather foolishly reduced the damage that I'd be dealing by immediately Wyvern firing. Courtesy of bad habits. You're also given a visual indication as to how much damage you're dealing, because you can see that when I... Stop that. You can see that when I shoot my gunlance, the explosion that's created is larger. If I had artillery, this would actually be good. I don't have a shelling gunlance set though. Maybe if I just brought artillery. Yeah, that would make more sense. If I just had artillery. So in other words, if I used this in conjunction with one of my actual gunlance sets, this would be appropriate. And I think it would be fun to use. I think realistically you'd get... Sorry, Yada. You would get more damage out of this in this game than in 2nd gen. Because you've got the heat gauge and you've also got... well, no, mostly the heat gauge. But I feel like the sharpness is better here in this game, because you've got sharpness +2. I think my standard gunlance set would be really good to use with this, just for charged shelling only. God damn it. Can you just relax a bit? I get that we're attacking you and trying to kill you, but... Fucking hell. This is only the first one, right? I think it's only the first one. Yes, Beans. Isn't it just lovely? I'm a weird duck farmer in a skin-tight black suit, which is possibly rather arousing to some people. Perhaps not for me, but I'd imagine some people would enjoy it in that sort of way. Oh, I need to start getting my heat gauge up again. Alright, let's Wyvern Fire at the earliest opportunity. While Wyvern Fire does serve to keep you in a certain heat gauge, you do ideally want to get it off successfully, and that's what's going to happen now, and it may kill him. Oh, he must be close. Come on. Come on, kill him here. We can do it. Or not. I think he ended up countering my shell there, Mr. Yara. Is this gun lance viable? Yes. Yes, it is. No, that was a ridiculous thing for me to do. That was a terrible decision. But it's alright, I survived. That was called running headlong into danger and then getting smacked for it. That's how I would describe that. But yeah, I'd say this gun lance is pretty good. You need the right set for it. I don't have the right set for it. I'm not using artillery. It's still going to deal decent damage. But having artillery just makes sense. It's something you want in conjunction with this for maximum damage. I was surprisingly out of range there for his roar to affect me. Oh, sleep. Did we all... Oh my god, we all managed to... And when I say we all, I mean everyone except myself and the gunner managed to... Come on, man, you can do it. I believe in you. Fucking hell! I think he wakes up very quickly. That probably hurt. Alright. Well, that was a bit dumb of me. Maybe I shouldn't have been so overzealous in that moment. Yeah, I think he naturally woke up really quickly, which means Grimclaw's probably not a good monster to sleep bomb, but anyway. Oh, I need to Wyvern Fire. I think there is a... I think it's a bad thing to overcharge your gun lance. I don't think I've really done it before, but I don't think it's a good thing to do. Shit, I was almost off target with that because of that paralysis. Perhaps not, but it seemed that I was almost off target. I think that the width of the Wyvern Fire would make it so that I wouldn't be off... Oh, no! Anyway, let's try to recover from that and get in there and deal some damage. Someone life powdered me. Well, I do think the sleeping resistance is that high. I saw no indication that anyone hit the monster in that moment, so... Yeah, I would imagine that he just woke up normally. He was asleep for a while, to be honest. It felt... Sorry, Yara, I know I'm hitting you a lot. That's the nature of shelling gun lance. It's one of the reasons why it may not be the best strategy in the world. Another sleep, okay. Well, I don't have Wyvern Fire, regrettably, and I don't have any more bombs, so whoever has a good wake up... Alright. Do you know how to detonate Jupiter? Because... Oh, really? We're gonna... That's a bit sad, look at that. It's not a very good wake-up hit. I reckon a non-charged shell would have been... It sort of looked like I cut the tail with my gun lance shell there. That's not what happened, but... also, I do have to apologise to Yara for having so frequently sent him flying with my gun lance shells. I don't intend to do it. I'm not aiming for him or anything, it's just... No, dive, dive! Never mind, I was outside of the range, fortunately, but I didn't have the stamina to dive in that moment. So it was just as well. Ow. Oh, I was sort of expecting a heavy shot after that attack. How I didn't get hit in that moment, I've got no idea. I wouldn't have been vulnerable, but Yara did hit... Oh, okay. Yara did hit me while I was guarding, and that caused a problem. Or he hit me in some situation that was unfavorable, but I can't really get upset with him for that. I don't have the stamina. I managed to... You know what happened there? I blocked... I lowered my guard just long enough to recover stamina, which was my intention, but I was not expecting that I'd be able to guard after having done that in time to successfully block. But I did manage to do that because, surprisingly, the frontal part of his attack did not hit me, but whatever the hitbox was for his rear part of the body did hit me, which gave me that extra, you know, fraction of a second. Can we not do this? I'm sorry. Never mind. I didn't hit you, but again, while it is very unfortunate to miss the Wyvern Fire, it does have a functional purpose beyond just dealing damage to the monster. It also locks me in the red gauge, which will increase the damage of my shells here. Alright, I'd better take the opportunity. Yes, it is generally better to heal up, but I'm being naughty. What's the best iteration of Gunlance? Is a great question. I'm not a huge fan of Heat Gauge. Look, I'm not a huge fan of Gunlance, so I don't think I'm an authority on the best version of Gunlance. I don't remember how World changed Gunlance. I only used it minimally. You have to understand that I only put 350 or so hours into World, which meant that I wasn't very much branching out into weapon types that I didn't like all that much already. So Gunlance in World I didn't have much time to play with. Normally I wouldn't even... on questions of how Monster Hunter has changed, I normally wouldn't involve World in the conversation. But World did have good implementations when it came to evolving weapons. That was one of the few things that World actually did well with for the most part. They had thoughtful and, for the most part, good, innovative direction with weapon types. As for what World did with Gunlance, I don't remember it clearly. I remember I remember a Gunlance swinging animation that was added. That's about all that I can recall. I know that there was a heat... Actually, I did use it for a period of time. There was a good 20 hours where I mostly used Gunlance, but unfortunately it was... I do not remember what it was like anymore. Anyway, I seem to recall that I enjoyed Gunlance more in World than in this game. As far as what the best iteration of Gunlance, the best permutation of Gunlance I would like the most, or the one that I think is best, I would say 3rd gen. The way they improved upon Gunlance from 2nd into 3rd, starting with Portable 3rd and obviously continuing into 3 Ultimate, I'd say that would be the best. It was the most comfortable for me, and remains the most comfortable. Is it objectively the best? I'm not willing to comment on that. But as far as what I enjoy using the most, that would be it. Perhaps for Ultimate, I don't know if 4 and 4 Ultimate made any change to 3rd gen Gunlance. I actually don't remember. I don't think they did. Not that I can immediately think of. They must have done something. They did something with, I think, every weapon type, so they must have done something with Gunlance. I just can't remember what. Oh god, stop it. I'm just ready for this monster to die, really. Oh, perhaps I didn't hit him, but it was dangerous for me to shoot where I did and when I did, so I do need to be more careful with that. speaking of being more careful, I'm at low health, so I need to really not focus on attacking and instead focus on surviving. Looks like we've got another paralysis coming through at some point. That's what Jupiter's aiming for, at least. Alright. Probably should have been in position to do something there, but... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry! You're rightly aiming for the head, but... I'm not aiming for it because it's a weak point. I'm using gun lance, I realise that, but... I'm instead aiming for it because it was the closest thing to me in that moment. Might not be a great place to kill the Tigrex if he can't be carved there. He's right in the exit point. I'm tempted to sharpen up, but the monster's almost dead, I think. Can't fucking see what's going on. I can see what's going on just enough to know that I'm in danger, but... Oh, come on. Alright. He's gone back to this area. Fine. I can live with that. Oh, see, again, I'm foolish. I don't... Oh, thank you for flinching me there. That worked out very well. But seriously, you can tell that I am inexperienced with Grimclaw. You can't have experience with Tigrex and then have that really assist you all that much in fighting this monster. I think someone's going for a capture. For a second I thought that was the kill, but in actual fact it was me jumping out the area. You know, when the scene suddenly changes, you think it's snapping to the death scene of the monster, but actually something else has happened. Either there's a quest failure or... I mean, it's kind of funny that after all that we just captured, but I think maybe we got a bit impatient about it. That's fine. Unfortunately, Monster Hunter Tri can't be played online at the moment. You can go to the online area, but there is no support yet for actual play with other people. There's no multiplayer functionality. So I won't be doing anything with Monster Hunter Tri either in my own time or on camera until there is multiplayer functionality. It is being worked on. Let that be understood without any room for doubt. That is being done. But I don't think there's any real ETA on that. Yeah, Grimclaw EX is no fun at all. I think I've done it. I think I've succeeded in doing it once, but it wasn't fun. Wow, I'm out of both potions and mega potions at the same time. That's pretty funny. Allow me to ameliorate that immediately. It's combination time. Actually, it's my turn, I think, so I'd better spend less time doing this than I was initially intending. Oh, I have 4 honey. Please tell me that I've multiplied honey. Oh shit. Am I really in this situation? This is what this is laziness, ladies and gentlemen. I must have multiplied honey. There's no way I haven't. I've got a hair that's just sitting on my hand and it's pissing me off. Oh my god. No, it was expedition, not trader. Relax, dude, like it's okay. You can breathe a fucking sigh of relief. You've got honey. Oh god. Alright. Now, let's choose some different cats because the enthusiasm of these cats has gone down. So I shall. I don't have a gratuity to give them, but these cats will suffice. See, I have to do this because otherwise I won't think about it. Oh, Yada is gone. Seeing Guild Mom standing there feels cursed. How dare you? How could you choose anyone except her to stand there? Oh my god. Where is your sense of taste? Well, I've just been abandoned. Okay. That's fine. I have things to do anyway. I need to combine Mega Potions. I've got way too many potions there. Maybe I bought too many. Maybe I got a little bit excited. I'll probably do 1 or 2 more hunts, then I'll finish up. Who knows if this guy will stick around after realizing that everyone left the room. He would have joined seeing 1 spot open. But, yeah, there's actually 3. And now 2 that he's here. But anyway. Oh, look at that. Look how quickly the room fucking fills up. Turns rooms are in high demand, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. I'm going to say hello to them, honestly. Just to let them know that I'm here. Hi. I'm the room host. Roulette player 1. Who's the... no, that's not the guy who was posting before. P1. It's your lucky day. It's your lucky day. I need to start combining for more Barrel Bomb L+. That's alright. May not be the most enjoyable thing to watch, but I'm cleaning things up for myself. Bind center box. I've got plenty of fucking money, so I'm not too worried about buying a stack of Barrel Bomb large. I wonder how my Scatterfish are going. I've got no idea. I play too many of these games to know what my supply is for various materials in each individual game. Scatterfish 30, that's pretty woeful. I, quite regrettably, cannot trade for them because I'm currently trading for honey. And that's problematic because I'm going to forget that I'm trading for honey, I'm not going to be looking at that while playing the game in the future, and yeah, it's not great. I'll take myself to 5, and then I'll have to make do with this for now. Alright, sitting on 27 of these now. This is really... oh, fucking Jesus Christ. I do not like fighting these monsters. I'm so sick of it. I fought them so many times and I hate fighting them. Just a terrible combination of things that I dislike. Ugh. I've now been forced to fight. I'm just going to make this very clear. I've now been forced to fight a Hyper Silver Rathalos with a greatsword without the focus skill. So, I hope you're ready for my misery. I'm sure it'll be entertaining for you to watch, but I'm going to be purely miserable. This is what I get for deciding to do a few more hunts. This is what I'm given. It's fucking terrible. Dear God. Ghastly Tal hastens to add that he does actually like Guild Mom. Good. I forgot her name. I never used to call her Guild Mom. I called her by her actual name, but I've forgotten it now. Back in the For Ultimate days. Guild Mom for me was like an icky translation. She sounds older because of that translation. I think she's fairly young. But I can't remember her name. If you were to Google it, you'd find out very quickly. She has an actual name. And as I recall, it's a rather Japanese sounding name. But, yeah. I used to call her by that. Her name was Sophia? Wow, okay. I guess it's not Japanese sounding after all. They call it the overlong Larry Saber because it's overly long. As you can tell. It's got very good range, but still, I'm not happy to be using this for this hunt. Oh god, I can't see anything. It's a miracle I didn't get hit. I was too busy looking at white. I need to aim for the fucking wing if I can. I need to do something in the way of damage. This is going to be a very stressful fight for me. I'm not going to enjoy it at all. Just doing the tail swings. I could have gone for a level 3 charge there, but I just didn't want to risk it. Greatsword on this monster is just a terrible idea. It's not advisable, it's just bad. Look how much damage I'm taking from this dick. Seriously, do I have this armor set fully upgraded? 866 defense. Did you just witness? I have positive 1 fire res, 866 defense. And do you see how much damage I just took? From one fucking cluster fireball? Eat my dick, you shit monster. I think you are terrible. Whoever designed you should just be hung. Save the world. Fucking hell. There goes, oh, there goes 2 people with 1 fucking attack, and I'm not surprised to see it. I hate you. I hate you. You won't get out of the fucking air. That's why I use a gun for you every time. But again, I'm not in that sort of position. Yep, brilliant. I don't even feel like... Can you leave me the fuck alone? Creature from hell. Oh, an opportunity to actually hit you. I will take it. Gleefully. I fucking pressed the button to... Ugh. Yeah, good on you, mate. Oh, you want an opportunity to hit the monster? Well, he's gonna swing himself in a fucking circle. And prevent you from doing that. And you see how it still hits me from that angle? How disgusting is that? I stand by his leg to his side, specifically to avoid that, and it still hits me. Awful monster. Oh my god. I'm so frustrated by this hunt. The main reason why I'm frustrated by it is not just what's going on in the hunt, which is annoying enough. It's the fact that I'm even doing it in the first place. I hate this monster. It's just dumb. The reason why I'm so sick of it is because I've done it so much for myself, and then on top of that, I've done it so much for everyone that I've ever played this game with, personally. And now I'm doing it with randoms too. I'm sick of it. Fuck this monster. It's just awful. Get out of there. There's no point me jumping into the exit point. I dare you to fight this monster with greatsword without focus. I dare you. See, I can't even get a charge out because this dick won't stop moving. Whatever. But yes, as far as her name being Sophia, the Japanese would pronounce it Sophia. Ugh. Ugh. I suppose having flash bombs would help, you know, flashing him out of the air. I didn't bring any. It's my fault, I suppose. There's no point me going for a charge if he's going to do this. You know, he does the obligatory fly backwards and... yeah. I meant to put my weapon away and run, not keep my weapon out and shield. Thank you very much. I press buttons and the game's like, nope, you didn't press those buttons, Doomlink. Didn't happen. Where's your proof? You don't have a controller cam. Imagine if I had a controller cam. Where the fuck would it go? People who have a controller cam usually don't simultaneously have their face visible. I mean, maybe that's common, I don't know. I don't watch speedruns. Usually, that's a speedrunner thing. But, God, my camera setup is already awful, so I wouldn't want to do that as well. Yeah. Well, the only opportunity that you have given me in the last minute has you are absolute garbage. You are the worst monster ever to be contrived by Capcom. You are just awful. I'm not talking about Silver Rathalos, I'm talking about Hyper Silver Rathalos in this game. Just awful. Absolutely terrible. Designed to, at every turn, shit on you. In the most frustrating way possible. There are ways to deal with it. And using non-focused greatsword is not one of them. I'm sorry. It's terrible. I'm starting to zone out from just pure displeasure. I was not paying attention to the last few minutes of that hunt because I was not impressed, and I remain unimpressed. Someone is responding with "that's some good stuff," not once, but twice. However good that stuff was, I regrettably could not lay eyes upon it. So I'll have to trust your judgment. May as well get a non-charged fucking greatsword slash out. I mean, that's the same as a draw charge. It's not even a level 1. Because I don't have focus and... feels like you're committing until the end of time just to get a level 1 and then... you know, the universe will collapse and recreate itself again by the time you've gotten to level 2, and then by level 3, existence as we know it is officially gone. And, yeah. Humankind are not even so much as a thought in any conscious mind. That's what it feels like when you're using a fucking non-focused greatsword on this atrocious creature. I'm not charging because I can't. I can't actually reliably hit the monster while charging, so I have to do what I can. This is great. Fucking die, man. I don't care. It was a chance to hit the monster for once. Oh, great. I suppose he wouldn't be limping. It's not like I'm contributing all that much. The damage is alright, 370. With purple sharpness, actually, that's very good. That's very good damage. Oh, it's 370 courtesy of Challenger +2, but still, 370 fucking damage doesn't mean all that much if I can't actually get charge attacks out. Why Vernon's playing Minecraft on the Switch, I couldn't even begin to imagine, but anyway. I didn't even know Minecraft was on the Switch, to be completely honest. Well, I can imagine why someone would play it on the Switch if they were playing it on the go, yeah. Sorry if I sounded ignorant in saying that, it's just that I don't use the Switch as a portable console. But yeah, if you want to play it on the go, makes sense to have it on the Switch, yeah. Maybe I can finally get some damage out. Wouldn't that be nice? Level 2? Ooh. a level 2, which I think I still didn't make contact with the monster using, but... Ugh. Just an insufferable fucking hunt. Aren't we one feint away from failure? Yeah, we are. If we didn't have insurance, we would have failed with my death before. Because we had a double death fairly early on in the hunt. Can't even get close to him. Literally designed by a sadist. Can't even get close to him. Just watch the last, 30 seconds of this hunt, maybe even 60 seconds, and like, what would you have me do? I can't actually do anything. You have to fight this monster ranged. You've got no option outside of that, as far as I'm concerned. You've got no option to fight this monster with a Blade Master weapon and deal good damage. I'm sure some freak of nature has worked out how to do it, but... Sorry, that's not me, okay? I'm quite comfortable with my ability to play Monster Hunter, but I'm not at that level, and I don't care. I think I'll be alright. Oh, he's limping. Hallelujah. The Switch's battery is so arse, I never take it out of docked mode. That might be why it's so arse, I was thinking it can't be good for a Switch to be constantly docked. I do the same because why would I not? But still. If a battery is constantly being charged on it, maybe it's not a good thing to keep it docked permanently, but that's what I do with it. I think the very elusive and secretive new Switch is probably going to have better battery life, but I don't know much about it. Good hunt, I guess. Love having to wait for the fucking death animation to finish before we can carve. Whose idea was that? Guys, it's more realistic. Oh, let's not have them carve until the monster finishes its death animation. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I'll do one more hunt, because I don't want that to be my last hunt of this recording. That was just terrible. Awful. Miserable. Apparently the second model is much better for battery life, as you'd expect. What's funny is that they don't actually advertise it as anything. It's literally just, if you buy a Nintendo Switch, you'll get the newer one. But they were selling the old one and the newer one at the same time, possibly for the same retail price. Just how fucked does Nintendo have to be to do that? What a mess. I understand that you can't really take the old ones out of circulation immediately, but it was really messy and so typical of Nintendo. Anyway. Like, there were literally people uploading guides online to see the difference between the old one and the new one. Like, you go to the game shop and you have to follow a guide and compare your options to see which one's the fucking new Switch. I mean, meanwhile, other people are just disadvantaged because they buy it unknowingly and get the old one. It's really quite a joke. It's probably my turn, but I don't think I care. I don't think I care. What I'll do is I'll select a weapon and then maybe I'll choose. If it's an elemental weapon, then I'd rather be able to choose. We're going to re-roll because we've already used this. We've already used this. For fuck's sake. Thank you. Bloody hell. So we can basically do whatever. This weapon isn't that much of a joke weapon. Let's just go P4. Because I don't really need to post in this event. It's a raw weapon. But yeah, it's not that much of a joke. It's a fist, you know. Maybe funny, may not be, I don't know. But it's not very good, that's for sure. Look at him. It's got 405 damage, I guess, and a sliver of white. It's not that great. Imagine selling a lesser version of the Switch at the same fucking retail price as the better one. And if you're right about it having considerably better battery life, then what could be more important to a portable console than its fucking battery life? I mean, of course there are other things that would be possibly of equal importance, but battery life of a portable console is key. It is a fundamental specification of a portable system, battery life. Because you're not charging it, ideally. If you're taking it out, you're using the battery. So, you know, how long can I play this on the go is the question. This is not an invitation to post a high rank quest, you mongoloid of a human being. You're hunter rank 358! Oh my god, I'm just moving on. Fuck off. Yeah, do your bloody silver and you can solo it. But yeah, that's just... You'd have to be morally bankrupt to think that's okay, in my opinion. Just... Oh, bad luck. You got noticeably worse battery life because you just got unlucky? Well, tough shit. Some people might argue, oh, well, Silicon Lottery with graphics cards. Well, this is different. This is Nintendo knowingly selling an inferior product for the same price. Like a product that is consistently inferior based on its internal components. So, yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. I don't even know what this room is. I joined something. Recruiting, and let's see what's on the board. Hopefully it's high. Yeah, hopefully it's G rank, and not high rank. It is G rank. It is, in fact, a key quest. This is one of the quests that I wanted to avoid. I don't actually dislike the quest, but it's one of those that was, again, part of that limited pool of key quests that I was talking about at the start of this recording. But that's alright. And I'd probably rather 3-man this anyway, because 4-man would be a bit too much of a beatdown. Yes. I sound exactly like a horn, and not like an idiot making a stupid noise into the microphone. This will be my last hunt. Definitely not here. We don't want to be here. This is not helpful. If you're fighting either of these monsters in this area, there's something wrong. You've been in the hunt for way too long. And you may need to reconsider your loadout. I think I went the long-ass way. Like, the long-ass way. I may have been able to, from my starting point, end up where Walter is, but I didn't know that the monster was there, so... You know. This is pretty awkward. I could not have taken a longer route from where I was to actually get to where the monster had started, but I didn't know he was here, sorry. Oh yeah, it's Volvidon, of course he would start here, but still, like, I didn't know. I wasn't thinking about it. I was thinking more of Macau. Okay? Leave me alone. Ow. Imagine having that sort of angle of effectiveness. Fortunately, I mean, that is a G-rank attack that I just took and it did, like, no damage, so it's more of an inconvenience than actually hurting you. But still, it's bloody annoying. That'd be about right. Just before I can get my golf swing off, he swipes me in the face. Well, if I could use this as an opportunity to hit the head, that would be brilliant. Or I can just totally miss with every attack that I launch at the monster. That's also an alternative. This is about as bad as that Silver Rathalos, honestly. Would I rather fight the Silver Rathalos? No. But this is still pretty bad. Am I having fun? No. I got a fucking golf swing off. And it hurt him. Good. It's very bad for low sharpness weapons to do the technique that I'm using right now, but whatever. It's the thing where you do the spin. The thing is, every spin that makes contact, despite how low damage it is, will deplete your sharpness, so it's not great. It's better to do this for sharpness, but is it better? Is it better in the end? I don't know, probably not. I'm not happy with this entire situation. That's all I can say. Yeah. I don't have the stamina for this. It's not the first time he's flinched on one of my weak attacks, preventing me from hitting him with the actual strong attack. Go away, Macau, I know you're here. Stop her. You're just being annoying, that's all you're achieving in this moment. Yeah, okay, I get it. Two monsters attacking me at the same time. Well, actually, no, we're all in this shit. I was about to say, and I'm the one in danger. Well, it turns out we're all about to fucking die. It's fucking Volvidon and Macau. What is going on? Unbelievable. How ridiculous is that? We're getting our asses handed to us by these fucking weak-ass monsters. And I said ass twice because I'm obviously... And then we've got an ass and an excrement association. Yes, I would agree. This quest is both ass and shit at the same time. Yeah, brilliant. Alright, we'll fight Macau, seeing as though you guys are too lazy to follow the Volvidon. That's gotta hurt. Admittedly, there is a low chance of Volvidon coming back to this area, so I don't think he will invade us here. The problem is Macau leaving this area and then going to where Volvidon is. I don't think Hammer on a Macau is going to be that easy. He moves around a lot. I'm not healing because I can't, okay? It wasn't my choice. Where are you going? I don't actually know where you're going. I can't use the Psycho Serum. Whatever. I'll go this way. Is Macau here? I don't know. It does not appear that he is. I might put him in a pitfall. I'm just that annoyed with him. Okay, fine. I'll solo the pitfall, okay? You guys are just going to spend time... Never mind. Maybe only one of them is going to spend time looking for the goddamn Macau. Get over here, please. He is exhausted now, so we need him in the trap now. Thank you. I'm thanking the monster, not this guy. He did not assist in this monster getting in the trap. What he is currently assisting with is me dealing fuck all in terms of damage. Yeah, you get out of here. I don't even care if I did that without having successfully hit the monster. I don't give a shit. I'm pissed off. Switch Axe Wonder Boy over here. Yep, good on you, man. You're doing so much to assist in the hunt. by flinching one of the damage dealers. Fuck it. Ugh. Bloody switch axe. Large Volvy Rickrack. More like riffraff. I'm wasting my time. Alright, drink your Psycho Serum and find where the Macau is. Please don't go over there. Actually, I don't care. I don't care if you go over there. They've chosen to side with that guy rather than the Hunter Rank 999, which is going to cost them dearly. You know what I want to do? Fuck, he woke up! I wanted to drop 2 bombs and smash him on the face for the wake up and kill him, and then they miss out on their cards. I don't know why I've become so vitriolic, but whatever. I wonder if they even know that I'm currently engaging the monster. I hope they end up on the other side of the map and can't carve. I don't think they're going to miss out on their carves especially. But, you know. Look at them go! I sort of feel bad for the HR-12 guy. You nub. You nub. Sorry, there was only one Y. It's you nub. That's my attempt at pronouncing his name. You can make it, guys. You can make it.
Oh dear.
So yeah, this hammer is not great, but it's also not atrocious either. It's just average. It may appear to be good, based on its raw damage, but the sharpness is terrible, so I'm not really a fan. Yeah, they're going to miss out on their cards. They might be lucky enough to get one. Maybe. No, it seems that at least one of them was able to carve twice. What is going on? On their screens, they were able to, for the most part, get most of their carves, which is interesting. Well, good on him. Good on them. That was a good final hit. Look at that. That is what you call a final KO hit. Like the nebula of fucking KO damage surrounding the cranium of this terribly beleaguered monster. Alright. That's going to be it for this recording, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first joke weapon roulette hunt for a long time. I don't know how long it's actually been. It's probably been, I don't know, definitely more than 6 months, but could be closer to 8. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, he got rolled. That is most certainly the case. I will see you all when I'm next recording, and I will bid you all farewell for the moment. Bye-bye.